All right, here I am with Scott. Scott, I just saw your presentation and I was really, really impressed. You're the keynote speaker here. And I was really connected to like the emotional aspect of what you teach, right? But I would want to get personal with you. What is your motivation? What inspires you in the morning when you wake up?
I get asked that question a lot. And honestly, I think a lot of my motivation comes from anti-regret, if that makes sense. So like I shared the story in my keynote of running 100 miles. And a lot of times people will say like, what motivated you to run 100 miles? I've got this thing in my brain that I can fast forward to a point down the road at a later time and place where I can say, all right, if I fast forward to this point, and if I look back at current day Scott and I'm faced with a decision, should I do this? Should I not do this? Personally, professionally, athletically. And I know if I fast forward to that position and if I'm looking back on it and saying, man, I would really regret not doing that and not at least giving it a shot, that makes my answer for me, as uncomfortable as it might be, whatever that decision is.
I love it, love it. Thank you for sharing that. Now I'm gonna throw you another uncomfortable question. You know,
bring it on, man.
You spoke in so many events, right?
Yeah.
You've been keynote at different events. Give me the biggest challenge you've ever had out there working with the audience.
Oh,
how did you overcome that? Because I know you were challenged a little bit today, but how did you overcome it?
I don't know that I can give you just one, but the interesting thing is, so you saw my slides didn't work like at the beginning of the talk, right? And it wasn't no fault of my own, like they just weren't set up, but I just got done less than a month ago giving a TED talk. Okay. And I was the first speaker for the TEDx event, and I was kicking it off because I thought I would have the right tone, and we had slides for our talks, just visuals and stuff. I was the only one that the slides didn't work for. The only one. And I got out there, and it's one of those things. This is where you got to put in the reps. You got to prepare. What you do in private shows up in public. So thankfully, when I got out there and I realized, hey, this clicker isn't working, and I was already a couple minutes into my speech, I just said, you got to keep going with this, man. You got to just do it. And I just played full out. But you've got to put in the reps, and you got to prepare. Otherwise, you can't, get through some of those things.
So it's all about the reps, guys. Yeah. And you also do a lot of like the sports, which is really, really amazing to say that physical health, and that was one of the slides that I thought was the best one out there, that physical health really has an impact in your life. Anything personal you want to share about that?
Well, I don't know how you separate the two, I mean, the brain and the body and the brain. And I just think taking care of the whole person is such an important thing, because I don't just want to be doing this, speaking on stages for 5 years or 10 years. I want to be doing this for another 20 to 25 years. And I think to do it at a high level, you have to think through because it's stressful up there. It's stressful for you too. So like, how am I going to recover in between these periods of stress? And I think you have to take care of this. And if you don't do that, it's short-lived.
So I'm going to share something with you. And I don't know if you observed it. So as you were telling everybody, hey, you need to work out, I said to myself, you know what? It's been a couple of weeks now. I've been procrastinating. Look what I was
doing. Call to action. Get on it, man. Get up.
I was actually sitting, I don't know if you observed, I was actually in a squat position saying, I'm going to work out my legs because Scott told me to. All right, so
I motivated Rick, right?
There you go.
How was that? Seriously.
Can't beat that. All right. So again, we appreciate you. Great job in the presentation. It's all about the community. So we want to make sure, we want to get him in our conference. All right. So I got to see how I can drag him to come to our Agile International Conference in March. Okay. We'll hope to see him there.
All right. Let's do it.
All right.